lion's cage, no, from
Oo.
San Beda. So I
Nako.
came from San Beda.
Allah, isang beda. Bedan pala ito. Nako, si Richie. Ang dami nating bedan dito. Mga laban, di ba? Bedan. Pag mga bedan daw, matitigas ang loob eh, no? Talagang go for it. Ano ba ang ano nyo? Labore at, labore at, you labor and love, di ba? Yun ang sinasabi ni Richie. So, yung storya mo, na bumalik tayo dun sa kwento mo na kailan mo nalaman na nagkaroon ng sakit yung iyong daughter?
Well, that time, my daughter was coming in and out with lagnat, no? Meron siyang persistent na lagnat at that time. And tataka kami bakit in and out parate. So it was really shocking when we had her CBC, no, yung kanyang blood test. So it came out that merong certain blast na result na sinasabi na we need to check it out kasi kapag meron daw yung ganong markers na yon, merong leukemia. So everything was confirmed and tested na meron nga talaga at that time. And that's really it. It started everything. Nung nalaman ko yun, na para kang nanglamig, butterfly on your stomach, and then really parang everything falls apart. That's the time that when you assess everything and your life is beginning to be trying to make things kung ano lang yung, how do I call it, no? Parang essentials at the time. Kaya sanay ako sa essentials eh. Sa panahon ngayong COVID eh.
Oo nga, di ba? Yung panahon ng pandemya, the essential of the essentials eh. Kumbaga, ano pa mapipiga mo sa essential na essential, no? But tell me yung ano ang reaction? Kasi, alam mo, nakakaantig puso ba ito, Kernan? Kasi yun nangyari sa'yo. Biglang, life was going well, correct? And all of a sudden, biglang ito, nagkasakit yung daughter mo. How old was she at that time?
I think about 7 at that time. Really, it's really early at that time. 7 siya. And then, everything was really perfect. I have a job, a high-paying job. Really, no? At that time, that was 15 years ago. I was a director of a company that pays me, I think, about 150,000 a month.
Wow.
So, I sabay-sabay yun. My daughter has leukemia at that time. I lost my job. I had a lot of debts. So, sabay-sabay. That happened.
Parang sinabi mo, when it rains, it falls, eh, no? Kumbaga, pag bumuhos, talagang halos gumuguho at ang mundo, eh, no? Ganun ba feeling mo, Kernan?
Well, there was a time that, meron nga saying eh, yung lalaki daw hindi umiiyak eh. So, I really, really, really cried, no? Prayed really hard of course, to our God and asked for help. Wala tayong choice eh. Yeah, wala talaga tayong choice at that time. Wala kang kapera-pera. And then, everything fall apart. Yun, nakita na ako. Ako lalo.
Yung gwapo. Hindi, kasi alam ko, baka umiyak eh.
No, not yet.
pero yes. Kernan, ito, yung sinasabi mo eh, ang lalaki raw eh, hindi umiiyak. Pero, yung feeling mo na yun, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, revive it, but this is something I'd like to share with a lot of our viewers kasi ditong pandemya na ito, walang matapang sa COVID eh, no? Wala ring matapang na hindi umiiyak, di ba? So para anong feeling mo no? Kumbaga, sino tinakbuhan mo noon, Kernan? At this time na nagkaroon ng kinonfirm talaga na may leukemia yung daughter mo, tapos nawalan ka pa ng trabaho, yung mga utang mo nagkakapatong-patong na para bang masarap pa rin ba ang tulog mo?
At the time, really, it was difficult. No, it was really difficult. What can I say? No words that can sugarcoat it. Just to be honest about it. Kasi wala ka talagang, walang-wala ka eh at that time. At that time din, yung tipong mayroong utang ang tao sa'yo na 10,000 pesos, gusto mong maningil, hindi ka binabayaran dahil kasi wala kang kapera-pera at that time. No? And that is how I was really down in 2005. I don't even have 10,000 pesos. And
2005. Oo.
the 2005. Yeah, I don't even have that money. It's really that. But of course, slowly, slowly on, we needed to pick ourselves up. I think that, sorry, that was, if I'm not mistaken, 2000 and more or less 2010 yata yon, more or less, something like that. And then slowly, really, the best thing you can do when you have such crisis in your life, go back to essentials. Go back to essentials in the sense na wala kang gagastusin na hindi importante, kakain ka sa bahay, you focus on what is really needed in your life. And focus on that, drop everything, nothing else, in my opinion, Sir Butch.
How was your life at that time, at those moments? How do you spend your day? I mean, nasa bahay ka lang, yung anak mo nasa ospital, nagpapa-check up. How did your day go about? Kasi, were you wandering, you don't aimlessly, yung bang, ang nangyari ba sa buhay mo, para bang umiikot na lang yung mundo mo na hindi mo alam kung ano nangyari?
Well, you actually summed a lot of feelings there in your words, no, before I answered that. It's really tulala ka, no, at that time, wala kang magawa kasi you can only do much. Your only friend is your credit card. And at that time, yung daughter ko na yon was actually from my previous relationship that went to the UK. And my daughter was here in the Philippines, no. I'm the one going to her house every week, and she's my only daughter. I have no one else at that time. And then that's it, no. It's that. True. Tulala ka. No one else. Lapit ka sa lahat ng friends mo, hindi ka matulungan. Kaya alam mo, ang bottom line in such crisis in your life, always remember that the only person that can help you, aside of course from above, is yourself.
True.
Nobody else. You can never ever, in my opinion, no, just sharing to everybody, no, that's listening, you can never try to blame anybody on whatever happens to your life. Kasi whatever happens to your life is you're the one directing your life. So at that time, it's only me, and of course my wife now, who actually helped me through that time, to that crisis, who is Lorraine, no? She's there in the picture you already showed.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Pakita natin yung picture naman ni Lorraine, okay, yung ating picture. But again, habang sinishare natin yung screen niyan, believe ko sa iyo yung fighting spirit mo, ha. Some people would have managed and say, ayoko na ata. I mean, kumbaga, ang tadhana ba ay talagang gumuho sa iyo? Bakit naman ganito? Bakit ba? You start questioning, why me? Why me? Di ba? Para bang, some people now are saying that, no? Yung bang, ang tino naman ng trabaho ko, sir, ba't naman ako na-lay off? Bakit naman ako ganito? Ano nangyari? So, habang naghihintay natin yung picture na yun, yun ang ating nakikita. Pero believe ako sa iyo sa you manage it because some people would say, maglalasing na lang yan, di ba? I mean, okay na yan, lasing na lang, di ba? So, paano yun?
Yes. Well,
Yung iba probably would resort to illegal means, you know. I mean, nakikita rin natin yan. Hindi na mamalayo yan na meron tayo dyan na nakikita mo yung nanay nagugutom, may nag-shoplift na, no? Kasi, kumbaga, meron tayong kasabihan kapit sa patalim, no? Ganun ba ang ano mo?
well, yes, to. Yes.
Oo. So,
Well,
paano
yes.
ka?
No,
Oo.
it's really ano that way, no. True. What happened at that time was I like what I said is go back to basics. You know, when I went back to basics, when I have small money with me, like credit card, magka-cash advance ako sa credit card. Let's say kung meron kang 500,000 na na pwede mo utangin o 100,000,
Mm.
gagasusin mo lang siya kung ano lang yung kailangan mo, pagkain, no?
Mm.
The means. And yun nga, yung sinabi mo kanina, how can I, kumbaga, comment on yung dun sa pagnanakaw, gagawa ka ng masama. Kasi, like everybody else, lahat kasi tayo, may kanya-kanyang parehong 24 oras sa buhay sa isang araw. It's about, it's all about sa atin, kung gagawin ba natin siya sa kabutihan or sa kasamaan. And of course, sa atin, what we needed to do at that time is really do good. Kasi sabi nga, my wife was also telling me, no, if you only do good, the only result is also good.
Yeah,
Walang
correct.
ibang result yun kundi mabuti rin yung kabutihan din ang balik ng isang kabutihan. So,
Oo.
gagawa ka ng kasamaan, ang balik din, ang ending din doon, kasamaan. So, when we try to do our best, to do good, slowly, we try to lift ourselves up, pray every day, do our best, that the day should be better than yesterday. I think that's
Oo.
it. So that's why when people, and I see people that has these challenges, I try to tell them, and I tell them my story. And somehow I try to motivate them, and then somehow they listen.
Oo.
No, I really feel bad when people doesn't really try to see the good side of things. Actually, when you are faced with difficulties in life, actually ang dapat nga mangyari is it's actually a lesson that God may want to let you know that, hey, you need to assess yourself and then try to see what you are missing in life. Perhaps you can remember Him at that moment of time.
Balikan natin yung nagsasalita ka sa Rotary. Bilib ako doon Kasi yung i-atras natin yung litrato ni Kernan, no? Nagsasalita kasama rin si Lorraine. Yan. Lorraine, you are very active sa Rotary International, Kernan, no? I noticed that. You're the president actually right now.
I was the president for a few years back, and it was one of those highlights in my life that really was the greatest decision in my life, joining. When I was invited, I quickly joined. Kasi Rotary is, you cannot join Rotary if you are not invited. So a good friend of mine who owns Broadcam Philippines, Archie Riaño, no, he invited me to the club, and then that's history. I fell in love because of one word, is helping people.
Correct.
Helping people that really needs our help. And it really ignited our passion of helping. It's really nice.
All right.
Great experience.
Okay. So, being a Rotarian now, kumbaga, nai-share mo kung ano mga nangyari siguro sa iyo, no? Yung mga pagganyang mga topic na yan, talagang everybody seems to be spellbound, no? Listening to Kernan, no? Hindi ba? Yun naman nangyayari.
Yes.
Oo.
Actually, I use the Rotary in a way to help people understand the challenges and how we need to face those challenges. No, it's a blessing. No, being in the Rotary, having friends within the Rotary. It's no joy cannot explain that. No, one of those life decisions that I would suggest everyone, if possible, to try to join. No, try
Yeah.
to understand. It doesn't mean when you try to see what Rotary is, you're joining. No,
Oo.
there's a lot of way. You don't even need to be the president of the Philippines to help people.
Correct.
Rotary is a way.
Yeah, but yung tignan natin yung susunod na picture mo. Maganda ito eh. Ito na yung pamilya. Ito na yung nangyari, no? Ano itong storyan to? You're gathering with your two kids right now, and that's Lorraine, the
Yeah.
one who helped
Yes.
you.
Yes.
How is it now to be with the family? And then ano pala nangyari? May nagte-text, pause na muna natin yung screen share, no? Pause muna natin, makita natin yung mukha ni Mr. Kernan, okay? Wag natin palagpasin tong gwapong-gwapong ito no? At sayang na sayang. How was your daughter? I mean, ano nangyari? So you were down and out and you were in the dumps, ika nga sabi ng iba. How was it? How was ano nangyari sa daughter?
Well, with with recent happenings, no, also na narinig ko na great news some time back that my daughter is really free from leukemia. She's really doing well, no, no problems at all, and I'm really happy. No, she's doing well in the UK. She's in the UK now with her mom, and para kang tumama sa loto eh. Kasi alam mo, many doesn't feel this way, no. But I feel this way na when everybody is healthy in your family, it's like winning the lottery. Isipin mo na lang na walang may sakit sa inyo, wala kang ginagastos, na kumbaga ospital, everybody is healthy. No, what can you ask for? You're eating at least 2-3 times a day, and then you're living. Alam mo, you should be really happy about it. Everybody's alive. In my opinion, that's how I look at
Parang
it.
ngayon siguro after undergoing that nightmare, kumbaga yung tunnel na ang haba-haba ng tunnel na hindi mo makita ang ilaw, although sabi ng iba, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, but siguro sa'yo, ilang kilometro yung haba ng tunnel, no? Yung dilim, no? Yung kadiliman, yung lungkot, yung iyak, yung hinagpis, no? Pero nung nakaraos-raos na, ano nangyari? May gamot ba? Paano siya napagaling? Kernan?
Well, slowly, no. It was a series of course, chemotherapy sessions in St. Luke's. That was her hospital. And buti na lang, alam mo, Butch, may credit card. So kung wala tayong credit card noon, yari na tayo. But of course, with the lolas and the side of yung mom ng daughter ko was really helpful also on their side. It's really that way kasi yun nga, when facing such difficulty, it's really wala eh. Everything is, you feel falling apart, but you just really need to compose yourself, in my opinion.
So lessons learned natin ngayon do not take for granted the ordinariness of our life, di ba? Para bang you're able to eat, you're able to sleep, the fact that you have family members or you have friends who are not sick, and though we are suffering in this COVID, but again, the COVID is actually a way of rebonding, di ba? Kumbaga, how is now Kernan? Would you say mas malakas na ang loob mo ngayon?
Well, nice of you to ask that. No? It's I like to tell everyone also that me today, it's definitely different from us before many years back. It's now kahit anong mangyari sa buhay natin, we are ready to face it. I
Ah,
don't even feel that there's anything in our life that is difficult, no? Um,
okay.
that we cannot handle.
Alright.
Until, of course, like for example, even short ka ng pera para sa sweldo or nabangga yung truck mo or whatever, no? Whatever life brings us, I think nothing is impossible, no? Basta keep it as a learning experience every day, no?
Alam mo,
Learn
Kernan,
from some pictures.
looking at your picture, I'm so touched. The way you're very, very close to your children. Si Kernan na so loving, so patient, and loving husband to Lorraine. Ano ba itong picture nito? Mukhang nagkaroon kayo ng award dito no? Ano ba itong picture nito? Share mo nga sa atin.
Yes, on the left side, it was actually may Rotary Awards. We were awarded the 6-star award from our district, and then yeah, it was we met a lot of matrix in our club, and then yeah, because of the help of the members also that I have,
Mhm.
no?
Mm-mm.
Lorraine
And
was really big help on that part.
yeah. And how is
Yeah.
Kernan as the loving father to his two children? Ang ganda nito, ha?
Oh,
Sino kumuha nito? Si Lorraine ba?
yes. Yes. One of
Ang
my
ganda, ang ganda, ang
favorite
ganda ng
pictures.
picture,
Yes.
ha? Ang ganda.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, my junior, yan, yung boy is Kernan Junior. And then, yan, small
Mhm.
baby at that time, si Nina. No,
Mm.
Nina. My ano kasi, my brother who died, name is Nino. So, kaya
Ah,
pinangalan ko siyang Nina. So, I wanted to
oo.
relive the moment na Kernan and Nino today.
The
Yan.
brother, the brother. Ito naman, bilib ako, mukhang nag-tricycle ata si Mr. Kernan dito for the sake of the children, sir. Nakakatuwa naman,
Ah,
no? Kumbaga,
yeah. Ikaw dahil mo nakita ng picture Yeah.
alam mo,
So,
marami tayong investigador eh.
thank you. Well, gulat nga ako. Actually, I didn't give all these pics, but I'm happy that you're sharing. But yeah, on the right side, you see our uh, dyan yan sa Hingoog City in Mindanao. So,
Oh, you're
we
from Hingoog. You're from Hingoog, no? Near Cagayan de Oro, correct?
yes. It's between Hingoog, it's in between Cagayan de Oro and Butuan City, yung
Yes,
Hingoog
yes.
City.
Oo, 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 oo.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
At, that-
And
at that time,
so you're
yeah.
really very loving you're a very very loving dad to your children, ha? Kumbaga after all this trial, you really experience that love for a child or love for your children is so precious. Gusto ko lang batiin na si Dominic nagwa-watch, si Maria Teresa Castro Martinez. Maraming salamat po at Maria Victoria Leonardo Acosta ng Star V, yung Rice Mob. Oy, kilala mo yan, Rice Mob. May rolling store sila. I'm sure
Oh,
nagro-roll
yes,
na
yeah.
yan, no? Yung kumbaga kanina at ulam pa hanap-hanapin pa. Si Ronnie Cortez, no? Sheila Rose, Mitch Ella, eto taga Cavite. Ed Rogan, kilala ko itong Ed Rogan na ito. Shibang Musa Amil, at si Asek Edwin Cabral Pasahol. Si Asek ho ito, no? DTI, naku, tatawa na naman ito. Si Kay Rams na nanonood. Tignan natin yung next slide natin. Nakakatuwa ito kasi from the down moments to the up, up, up. Okay, tignan natin yung next na litrato. Ayan! Ayan na ho. Oh, nakangiti na. Nakangiti na si Mr.
Yes.
Kernan. Tuwan-tuwa naman.
Ah,
Para bang yung mukha mo ng araw, para bang talagang parang down and out. Ngayon si Kernan, ayan na, nakangiti. O ayan, tell me exactly, ano ba yung tech support na yan? The IT support for everyone. What's that? Tell me.
well, tech support we started last 2002. No, it was really a sideline while I was working. Simula
Mm.
2002 until 2012. I'm really just doing it part-time. And then 2012 comes, there's a time that I needed to go full-time. And then yeah, from that time moving forward until today, I'm full-time with the company. The main purpose of tech support is really um, outsourcing your IT department to the company. Kasi when you hire a IT staff sa company mo, normally yeah, you pay, let's say, 20,000 pesos, and then normally hindi siya experience, di ba?
Mm.
So, but of course, kapag a few months, kapag natuto na sila, medyo lilipat na sila sa ibang kumpanya dahil ang sweldo na nila 25 o 30,000 na.
Mm-mm.
So what happens with us, no, with the company, they outsource to our company. Let's say they depende sa arrangement, they pay us a very very small portion of that value.
Mm.
Naka-outsource na sila sa amin, like they're hiring a whole IT department, and then we will never submit a resignation letter ever.
Oh.
So ang nangyari, it slowly grew to the point na companies really enjoy our services dahil nga all in eh. I think many businesses are really enjoying what we're doing. We're maintaining all their computers, antivirus, websites,
Mm.
email, marketing, as in total, everything.
Total. Talagang talagang full
At the
support, no?
fraction of like paying a minimum wage. No?
Ah,
So
my God.
so biruhin mo, if you hire a minimum wage, what will that guy do? So ang problem, syempre, hindi naman niya alam 'yon kasi bago natututo lang siya. So marami rin kaming natutulungan ng mga newly graduates because they learn from us, from the best, no? So
Okay.
that's what I feel, of course. So
Yeah.
that's what
So,
tech support
yan ang
does.
tech support ngayon. Yan ang sinasabi mong
Yeah.
tech support talaga. Pag sinabi mo bang talagang tech support kasi ngayon, ano ba ang unique selling proposition ng tech support ngayon? Kasi sa dami-dami mga web, marami nagsasabing ganito ko, kaya ko ito, kaya ko gano'n. Anong nakikita mo ngayon sa negosyo mo ngayon? Kasi alam mo sa lahat ng negosyo may USP, no? So ano ba ang unique proposition ni tech support?
Well, not everybody can do this service in terms of having everything included on the service. Kasi ang iba, pag nag-outsource ng IT, basically parang manpower lang. Magpapadala sila ng isang tao,
Mm.
tapos bahala na yung tao na yon kung kaya nila masolusyonan yung mga problema sa company. Sa atin, sa tech support, we serve everything from, yun nga, nabanggit ko, from web, from internet connection, from emails, to marketing, to accounting systems, no, anything that the company needs in terms of IT, we already provide it to them. And then sa ibang kumpanya, kung kuha ka ng IT provider, tao lang yon, tas kailangan mo pang mag-invest doon sa mga technologies. So on our part, I think, no, in my opinion, nobody really does that, no, putting everything in the service so that they will not need to worry on anything anymore. So that's the beauty of what we're doing. Yeah.
Pero recently may nakita akong ginawa mo no? Nagulat ako sa iyo. Meron kang ginawa na ano 'yun, website for 8,000 something na para bang pangtulong sa mga ating mga entrepreneurs during this pandemic. Anong ginawa mo doon?
Well, I saw kasi that because of the pandemic, no, normally uh, brick and mortar business will survive. And after this pandemic, no, and during the lockdown or general quarantine na kasi tayo, ito na yung new normal natin eh. So all businesses will need a web presence eh. So okay, there's a Facebook page and everything else, but companies will still try to find a way, no, to make sure na you look professional for your customer. So that's the time na kailangan natin magkaroon ng website. So sabi ko nga, why not talagang ibigay natin yung kailangan ng mga small business sa halagang 8,000 lang, makaka-website na sila. So tulong talaga siya, Sir Butch, kasi normally you create a website, it's about 30,000 or something. So sabi ko sa mga staff, let's do this para sa mga tao. Yeah, the picture that you're showing.
Mukhang meron kang isang I don't mind plugging this, pero mukhang meron kang isang eto si Kernan at work. Talagang you really hands-on talagang Kernan.
Oh yes. Yeah, sa left side you see one of our customers, a good friend of mine, no? Flight Center. They're para silang San Miguel sa Australia. So, yeah, they are our customers locally. And on the right side, yan, 7-Eleven, we're maintaining about 3,000 stores nationwide. Yeah, so...
Teka, medyo nagulat ako doon. 3,000 stores, sir. Mukhang marami-rami yan. Mukhang hindi biru-biru yan. Anong klaseng mga support ang binibigay mo sa ganyan, mga lalaking kumpanya, no? I mean, it's really tech support really the giant of helping a lot of companies, MSME to SME to ME, you know? Ganun ba 'yon? Ganun ba nakikita ko ngayon kay ano?
Si tech support kasi hindi naman kami namimili ng customer, no? If you are just an entrepreneur with yourself, or you have thousands of computers or branches that you want to maintain, kasi nga malaki yung expense mo on having an internal staff, no? We help everybody to the point na even absorbing the IT staff na meron sila, kasi gusto na lang i-outsource sa amin lahat ng benefits nila, ina-absorb namin. Kasi nga mahirap kasi kung gagawin mo internally yon, dahil halimbawa isang company na restaurant, hindi naman sila IT company pero marami silang chains. So kailangan mo mag-hire ng CIO, ng manager, etc. It will cost you a lot of money versus outsourcing everything to us. So
parang
that's what happens.
So parang ngayon, ito yung sagot ng pandemya, Kernan. I mean, you came in at the right time, at the right place, and you had the right support. Ganun ba yun?
Well, siguro swerte lang, Sir Butch. I have customers that are really understanding, na also we really do our best to listen to them if they need assistance. Like itong pandemic, marami nag-request ng discount. We really extend the assistance, even do it for free. Kasi alam mo, sabi ko nga, with all of my experience in the past, one thing that you need to do first is to help. Kasi helping really results on something that to the people that you help, no, tutulungan ka rin nila pabalik some time back. And during the pandemic, no, itong current lockdowns natin, we do our best to help our customers. Merong iba nga talaga na zero dahil may mga travel agencies talaga na nagsara, no. We really extend them. I also try to tell them na, tulungan ko kayo sa marketing ninyo, no. May bayad ba? Sabi ko, walang bayad. Tulungan kita. Kasi alam mo, ang bagsak naman ng negosyo hindi naman habang buhay eh. Yung ngayon na nasa baba sila or tayo nasa baba ngayon, sometime in the future, they can be 10 times bigger than you. Diba? So that's what I tell to everybody. We need to respect and then help, no? With a good heart.
Yeah.
Yes. Yun,
And
yung picture ko. Ano ba yan?
kumbaga, sabi
Ah,
natin lahat ngayon nata sa pandemya itong nangyayari. Sa ayaw at gusto mo, siguro sabi nyo rin, sa ayaw at gusto mo, gugupitan kita.
ayan. Ayan, nakakahiya.
At but again, let me just say, wow, ilang years na ito, 2002 to 2016. Okay, ilan na ngayon? 2020, ilan ba? 20 years na ba? 20 years na, no?
Ano na?
2014, oo.
Oo, ano na, matagal-tagal na din. Yeah, 18 years.
18 years, ha?
18
18
years.
years. But what can you say? What can you say now, Kernan? You have been through a lot of challenges, no? Ito 'yon. Si Kernan,
Yes.
parang mas nakilala ko ngayon si Kernan kasi alam mo nung pag kinikwento niya ito, kumbaga sobrang I'm so touched. I'm really touched. Siguro ang pagkakilala ko ngayon kay Kernan Kernan isang taong dumaan sa masalimuot na talagang doble-dobleng hirap. Si Kernan na halos hindi umiikot ang kanyang ulo, umiikot ang katawan, hindi makatulog dahil nangyari ang isang hindi magandang kabanata sa buhay, and yet you're able to rise above. Ha? Believe ako, sir. Believe ako. Alam mo, first time mo kinento sa akin yan noon nung nagkakilala pa tayo noon. Ilang beses na tayo nagkakilala, but we get to bump each other, di ba? But really,
Yes.
Kernan, palagay ko, I think the values you have the values that you also learned in your school, the values that probably your parents taught to you, and also the love that you have for your brother really made you such a strong person. No? Kumbaga, hindi kaya yan Kumbaga, dagok dito, dagok to. Kumbaga sa boxing nasuntok ka ni Pacquiao sa kaliwa, nasuntok ka naman ni, sino pa ito? Si Tyson sa kanan, para bang suntok kaliwat kanan. Pero hindi dumapa.
Yeah.
Hindi ka dumapa, right? I mean, you never kumbaga dapang-dapa as in that's it. I cannot go up. But because of this thing, Kernan, you're able to rise above and you're able now to share what you learned in life. Tama ba 'yon?
Well, I think talagang dumapa talaga tayo, no? But I think we need to stand up. There's really no way. Nasa baba ka na Wala namang way na bumaba ka ulit or humiga ka pa, nakahiga ka na. So you have no choice. Just stand up, assess, adjust, and then you need to implement what you need to do. Then, in my case, it's really susuko ka, wala ka naman mapuntahan na. And your only motivation in your life is to survive. If nasa isip mo is to survive, there's no way but up. Really, I think I saw that in one of your posts. There's no way but up.
Isang libro, Nowhere But
Yeah.
Up. But,
that's it. Yeah.
Tell me, how was your faith at the faith of Kernan? As a Kernan, as a father, as a fighter, how strong is your faith now, especially now with this pandemic?
Well, nobody's perfect. Everybody has their own shortcomings in life. And as I can say is that we know that we're not perfect. We have shortcomings in our life. And then in terms of going back to basics, our faith, we just need to be really, tatagan natin loob natin having faith, pray, and then focus on what you have, and then focus on the treasures you have, your family. That's really it, no? Kasi walang way eh. But you choose yourself to pick yourself up, and then use your family as your only strength. Of course, aside from the one and only God that we get our strength from.
Correct.
And then anything else in your life, alam mo, will be secondary.
Meron kang sinabi sa interview doon sa Manila Times, Kernan. The treasures that you have were your mistakes. Ano yun? Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Yes. I keep on telling that to my friends are asking me ano daw yung parang motto ko or what. So I keep on saying that. Kasi alam mo, lahat ng dinaanan nating pagkakamali sa buhay, no, it can result to really negative impact to your life that maybe yung ginawa mo dati when you were young, maybe hindi ngayon, maybe darating siya 5 years from now, magiging kumbaga something that you would be really facing. But as I can say na alam mong ginawa mo dati and then alam mo yung mga dinaanan mo, I think that's a time that you do your best not to do it again because those are what you already kumbaga dinaanan mo na. And I think those are my treasures. Kasi I will not be the person who I am right now if hindi ko siya dinaanan, Sir Butch. So, really, also, I would tell everybody, dinaanan mo ito, dinaanan mo yan, marami kang heartaches in life. The only thing that you can do is use that as your strength also, no? Para kung may dadaanan ka ulit sa darating na panahon, alam mo, kayang-kaya mo eh. Kayang-kaya mo talaga. Sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, when I talk to Lorraine, to my wife, meron pa ba tayong hindi kaya? So, meron pa tayong hindi kaya? Wala tayong hindi kaya. So,
Kumbaga,
wala eh. Ayun.
fight. Ayan, yun yung isang daughter mo. Daughter ba yan? Yan ba yung si
daughter.
Kernan? Oh,
Yeah.
naku, yan, pinapaligiran na
Ayan,
siya.
ayan sila.
Ayan, yan. Hi, hi, hi. You are so lucky to
Yeah.
have a child, a father like that, so loving. Uh, and then, of course, si ano, no? Kernan, siguro, is it something that I would like to ask you na etong
Yes.
panahon natin ngayon na marami tayong uncertainty, marami tayong nangyayari sa buhay natin, marami tayong mga kapatid na napipiga na rin, marami tayong mga sinasabi nga nako, nagbukas na ang ating Metro Manila NCR sa GCQ. Would you want to lead us, ating mga kaibigan na nanonood ngayon na hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas but elsewhere into some sort of a prayer coming from a person na dumaan sa paghihirap at ngayon nakakaahon? Can you give us some sort of a prayer, your wish, and
Well, I wish to everyone who undergo such difficulties in life, no, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. No, ngayon down tayo, down ka, and then feeling mo walang-wala na tayo magawa, no. I can only say na hindi huli ang lahat, no. Pick yourself up, try to see ano yung assets mo. Anong asset mo? Let's say magaling ka magsalita, yung katawan mo ang asset mo. Hanap ka agad ng trabaho na may kabuluhan, no? Meron akong kababata, no? Just to tell you, no? May kababata ko, tricycle driver. Nag-text sa akin recently, kailangan ko ng work kasi wala nga ngayon. Sabi ko, sige, start ka na agad. So, iniwanan niya yung, kasi syempre kapag nasa tricycle, araw-araw yung yung kanyang biyahe, nakakauwi sila ng maaga. I told him na, yeah, come to my office and then you can start immediately. Kasi talagang we're looking for people naman in our company, non-stop naman siya. So, having said that, no, nagkakuha ka ng ayuda. Ang ayuda, malaki naman, 8,000. Pwede mo agad itayo ng something na maliit na negosyo. No? Wag mong gastusin. Kasi ang nangyari kasi, bago yung tong pandemic natin, syempre, people are not really saving money. People are going around, spending a lot of money on a lot of non-essential stuff. Now is the time na we assess, no? Itong nang mangyayari. paano kung mangyari to ulit after 5 years or 10 years from now, we need to be ready. I'm just saying na whatever happens in your life right now, you can do it. I don't see any reason why you cannot. Basta may buhay pa tayo, may pag-asa, Sir Butch. Right? So, yeah, that's really it. Kaya natin. Basta magtiwala tayo sa taas sa sarili natin. No.
But you know, Kernan, I'm so touched and I'm sure ang dami natin, si Gratiomil, si Jennifer Ko, si Juan Celeste from New Zealand is watching. You know, nakaka-touch talaga yung kwento mo. I'm sure baka si Director ay gawing isang madamdaming isang tagpuan yan sa maging novela. Dahil yan hindi lang drama It's really a drama in life, no? Kumbaga, the fact that you're a survivor, tama yung sabi mo, no? Yung kay Lorraine, ano pa kaya? Kaya na natin no? Nadaanan mo na. You are battle-scarred, your heart, kumbaga, yung puso mo yung nasaktan, nagdamdam ka, pero sir, antibay mo, sir. Bilib ako, saludo ko sa ginawa mo, sir.
Alam mo, Sir Butch, meron pa nga. Isa lang before I end it, no? Before ending it. When I was in college, no, this is not written. When I was in college, my father lost his job. So, at that time, may utang ako sa San Beda. So, I think ang utang ko is, if I'm not mistaken, more or less mga 20 to 30,000 pesos. So, swerte, nakamarcha ako sa San Beda, pero hindi ako nakapagbayad ng tuition. Believe it or not, nabayaran ko lang yung tuition fee ko siguro more or less 1 year ago, after 20 years. Kasi tinatanong na ako ng mga anak ko saan ako gumraduate. Wala akong makitang diploma. So, nakagraduate ako sa San Beda na wala akong hawak na transcript of records or anything, no, na pwede kong sabihin sa employer ko na graduate ako. So, in fact, paano ako nakapagtrabaho na wala man lang akong transcript of records? So, hindi talaga rason na kailangan may pinag-aralan ka sa buhay para maging ganito kang tao, maabot mo ang gusto mong pangarap sa buhay. No, ang sa akin, even yon, walang pambayad ako sa eskwelahan doon sa San Beda. Nakakuha ako ng trabaho at that time, and then slowly naging manager ako, naging ganito ako slowly. Talagang walang biro 'yon. Going back, kaya mo 'yan, no? Wala kang hindi kaya kung gusto mo gawin ang gusto mong gawin sa buhay. 'Yon, Sir Butch.
Grabe. Oy, si Rico Mondehar, isang kaibigan natin to sa Dubai. Nako, ito yung voice. Ito ba yung ang ganda ng voice. Alam mo